Recently retired defense lineman Aaron Donald was asked about one last hurrah with the Pittsburgh Steelers, and he had this to say about it. Also, TJ Watt, he speaks about the Pittsburgh Steelers offseason moves at the quarterback position. But first, before we get into it, make sure you subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications, and also like the video. Let's get right back into it. So, Aaron Donald, he retired last week, and after a 10-year career, he hangs it up. One of the best defense linemen in NFL history. Aaron Donald, all throughout his career, has always had that connection with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Always, whenever trade rumors came up about him, it was always linked to Pittsburgh, and mainly because of his time at Pitt College and also just being around that area. So, in an interview done, when asked about if he could see himself ending his career with the black and gold, this is his quote. Here's what he said. "Not really. I never thought of it. I never thought about it, so nah." He also expanded on that quote in the interview, basically saying this. "I love the Rams. I don't want to retire nowhere else but the Rams. I told Sean McVay when he first got there after the first year, I was like, as long as you're the head coach here, I want to be here. I want to continue to win as many games where we can create together. I don't want to go nowhere else but here with you, and I got the opportunity to do that because the relationship, the bond we've got. I feel like it's special. It's beyond football." End quote. So Aaron Donald in an interview gives his thoughts on maybe potentially joining the Steelers, and he basically shuts it down, giving his reasoning for it. And I don't see a reason why he would retire and then want to come out of retirement to join the Steelers. If he was still playing and maybe the team wanted to trade him because of cap reasons and he just wanted out, sure, but he's retired. He made that decision, and there's no one last hurrah that's going to happen anymore. And it seems like there's always that connection with Pittsburgh just because of the player going to Pitt and being around the area. And that's basically any team, just always being linked to their hometown and things of that nature. For example, we're seeing it right now with Tyler Boyd. Tyler Boyd went to Pitt, being linked to Pittsburgh and just being around the Pittsburgh area. So everything in free agency was, hey, is he going to take a pay cut and come home and play for the Steelers? He's always talked about the Steelers, so is he going to come and play for them? So it's always been like that. There's always been that link and connection just because of where you play in college and basically where you grew up. So that's the same thing that was happening with Aaron Donald. But I guess Aaron Donald doesn't see it as if he has to play for Pittsburgh just because of the area in which he grew up in. But hey, at least we can say this. Aaron Donald, in the games that he's played in Pittsburgh, he has failed to beat his hometown NFL team for the third consecutive time. In the 3 career games that Donald has played against the Pittsburgh Steelers, he registered 14 tackles, 6 tackles for loss, 2 sacks, and 6 quarterback hits. He also was credited with a safety as well. Only one of those 3 games was played in Pittsburgh, and that was in the 2019 meeting between the two teams, the Rams and the Steelers. But at least the Steelers can say they never let the hometown kid beat them, because he has never beat the Pittsburgh Steelers in a game. One last thing before I move on to the next topic of the video, being TJ Watt. Aaron Donald, it's not like he would come back to Pittsburgh anyway and take the hometown discount. If you remember what he was being paid, he was one of the top paid defensive players in the entire league. At one point he was the highest, but then obviously other players get signed and they beat him up by like $1 million. For example, TJ Watt, then he gets paid more than him. So Aaron Donald would not be a cheap contract either. And the Pittsburgh Steelers are already one of the highest paid defenses in the NFL. They're actually the highest paid by more than $20 million. Compared to the next highest team, which is in second place. So the Steelers would get Aaron Donald at a huge contract, and that would take away from a different position, and they would have to cut a lot of people, make roster moves, and things of that nature. So it's not like Aaron Donald would be coming back at a low price with a discount. He's still one of the best players in football, but he hung it up early. We've seen that with other players in the past, like Barry Sanders, hanging it up while you still have some good football years left in you. Obviously, Aaron Donald didn't want to continue having the wear and tear on his body that affects you later in life and continue playing football. he decided to hang it up early. He already accomplished everything he needed to accomplish in the game, winning 3 Defensive Player of the Year's award, winning a Super Bowl, and obviously being ranked as one of the top defense players in NFL history in just a short period of time. So he hung it up early, and now he's out, and the Pittsburgh Steelers have no chance of getting him. So now just take that out of your minds. He declined that. He spoke about it. He basically said no. Obviously, he's happy with how his career has went and how it has gone with one team, the Los Angeles Rams, his entire career. Obviously, the St. Louis Rams too, but Los Angeles Rams, one team his entire career. Now, moving over to TJ Watt. He was asked about the Pittsburgh Steelers' moves in free agency, obviously adding Russell Wilson and adding Justin Fields, and this is what he had to say about them. I'm excited for both of them to be able to have some big time new faces and guys who have played at a high level, especially Russ, a guy who's won a Super Bowl in the locker room. I'm just hoping that I can learn something from those guys and hopefully show them how things are done in Pittsburgh as well, what we've been doing. I haven't won a playoff game my whole career, so I'm open to any type of information where we can continue to get better. Hopefully those guys can help us do that. It's tough. It's very tough, competitive league. There's so much parity, especially in our division. You look at all the quarterbacks, I'm just glad that we have one. It's all about staying healthy and being on the rise, and that's what we have to do this year. End quote. Before I talk about those quotes, obviously you could tell just from what he said is he's especially excited for Russell Wilson, which basically shows and confirms all the reports basically saying that Russell Wilson will be the starter. Obviously, he pointed out Russell Wilson in specific. Now let's move on to what he's actually said in terms of playoffs, because he's right. He was drafted in the 2017 NFL draft, and years later, he is still yet to win a playoff game. Not even one, not the wild card, nothing. He's not won a playoff game. And obviously, that's something on his resume that is haunting him, because that's one thing in terms of success that he's just not had. He's had success in every single area you could as a football player, winning Defensive Player of the Year and also just being a highly counted player in the sack category and just being a great football player, the Hall of Fame when he wraps it up. But one thing he has not yet done is win playoff games. And he needs to start doing that. The team needs to start doing that. He's the best defense player in the NFL, and he has yet to win a playoff game. That just is not good. That's not a good team look, because usually when you have good defense players, great defense players, they're able to help the team win. So now, hopefully, having a quarterback, he's able to do that. And obviously, navigating through the rough waters in the AFC North is not easy. The defenses are usually good and the games are tough. So having a quarterback in Russell Wilson, he's excited for that opportunity, and he finally gets a veteran quarterback again. He obviously had Big Ben as the quarterback of the team his last 2 seasons in the league, and basically 2017 all the way up in 2021. So having Big Ben, he is yet to win a playoff game with him. Then having Kenny Pickett, Mitchell Trubisky not win a playoff game. So hopefully Russell Wilson, or maybe even Justin Fields, comes in and is able to help him do so. And although he refrains from directly criticizing Kenny Pickett, Watt expresses his relief at the Steelers' newfound stability at the quarterback position, with anticipation building among this season for the team. So hopefully it's a good one. Hopefully these signings, this trade ends up working out for the Steelers and this team is able to have success. Now, moving back to TJ Watt and kind of Aaron Donald. Aaron Donald also in that same interview done spoke about TJ Watt and how he felt as though he was snubbed for Defense Player of the Year many times. Here's this quote on him. I would say TJ Watt. He's another guy that's consistently been doing it every single year. He's a guy that's going to consistently get 15 sacks for you, 20 tackles for loss, probably 2 interceptions, maybe a touchdown for sure. I felt like he should have won a couple more Defense Player of the Year awards. He kind of got snubbed a couple times. I ain't gonna lie. End quote. So Aaron Donald feels as though TJ Watt got snubbed multiple times for Defense Player of the Year. Well, we all do too, because A few years ago, when Aaron Donald won the award, TJ Watt should have won it. Also, last season, TJ Watt should have beat Myles Garrett for it. So those are the 2 times he got snubbed. Should have had 3 Defense Player of the Year awards. And obviously Aaron Donald feels the same way, saying that he's been snubbed multiple times. He's a 1-time Defense Player of the Year, and he should be really at least a 3-time. So TJ Watt, he has a lot to prove this upcoming season in terms of getting back to Defense Player of the Year and showing why he should have won it. Also, finally getting those playoff wins that he has talked about. But anyway, that's Aaron Donald talking about the Pittsburgh Steelers and also TJ Watt, and also TJ Watt talking about the quarterback position and the team's offseason moves. So with that being said, let me know your thoughts down in the comments below on both those topics, and were you one of the people that wanted to see Aaron Donald finish his career in Pittsburgh? And also let me know your thoughts on TJ Watt commenting on the quarterback spot. Also, make sure you turn on notifications and subscribe to the channel so you never miss out on anything Steelers updates, whether that's free agency or just news like this. Also, make sure you like the video, and I'll see you guys all later. Till next time, I'm out. Peace.